Welcome back to San Diego Living. Well, our real estate expert, Bryan Garrity, is on a rant this morning. Furious over the way that you, the homeowner, is being treated when it comes to distressed property, especially here in San Diego. And he joins us once again. Now, we got you calmed down since the last time. But again, that seemed to resonate with people because your phones rang off the hook. What happened?
Well, I think so many people are stuck in such a bad position and so afraid to pick up the phone and call their bank to try to get some help that they're sitting there doing nothing and then ending up getting railroaded. Bottom line is, and I've said this last time, but really cannot emphasize this enough, don't wait. If you know you're going to be in trouble, if you're 1 month late, if you think you're going to be in trouble in 3 months, call now so we can make a plan of attack, because the banks are not getting any easier to deal with.
And if you're 2 seconds away from your home being foreclosed and you still want to call Bryan, you don't want to assume that it's too late. And by the same token, you don't want to assume that it's too early. We'll figure out something, you know, a miracle will happen and this will all work out. It's just not working that way for too many people.
No. The later you are, the bigger the challenge. So obviously, I'm a big guy. I'm up for a big challenge, but it's pretty Herculean, the challenge, when you're right up against a trustee sale date.
I'm glad we got you calmed down just a little bit, but the passion is good because people understand that you really do care about it.
I do. I'm really, the banks, they're mobsters. And
you don't pull any punches.
No, I'm not. I'm so tired of like the everyday in and out nonsense that the banks propound on the people that you need an advocate. I mean, if you think you're going to call the bank and they're going to help you, more power to you. I stand up and applaud. But I'd say for the majority of the people, that's not going to be the case. I mean, you can't even call the bank and get them to answer what department you should be in. Or you could call the bank 3 different times, same day, same situation, and get 3 different answers. I mean, it's completely frustrating.
I've done that exact thing, and I've done it within the last 60 days.
Thank you.
All right, so let's talk about, is it HAFA?
Oh, yeah, HAFA.
All these acronyms are just flying around.
Back to the Home Affordable Forclosure Alternative.
Home Affordable Foreclosure Alternative.
Now, the banks are going to update this. So since we were here last week, now effective February 1st, they're going to change it again.
Well, let's put the old information up, and we'll let you kind of go through and update it as we go. The big question is, if you're in a property that's distressed, you're having a hard time making the payments, you think you might lose it, your home has to qualify for this program.
That's correct.
Okay, so let's go through here.
Okay, so home must be primary residence. That is still in effect. However, if you vacated your residence within the 12 months prior, and you can show proof that you lived there 12 months prior to the date of the short sale or when you're requesting the short sale, that's key. Requesting or the date that it's approved. It's requesting. If you can show that you've been there 12 months prior, that can be now your primary residence. So people may have moved on and think they don't qualify for that reason.
But you can go back and help them clean this up.
Yeah, absolutely.
First mortgage lien balance must be $729,750 or less.
No, that magic number has not changed.
That's staying the same. All right, mortgage payment must exceed 31% of your household gross, what?
Gross monthly income.
Gross monthly income, okay. GMI.
But I think this is my favorite one. Because now they say, oh, that the banks aren't required to verify a hardship or about your income. That's just for paper. That's total PR. I really doubt the banks are going to do a short sale without verifying somebody has a hardship.
But they actually say that they're going to. Okay.
Yeah, remember I was telling you. Even like I'm handling one right now for a 70-year-old couple, and the bank, they're totally wiped out. And the bank's coming back and asking them for $70,000. I digress. But let's go back. Let's go back.
Right. Folks, as this is starting to resonate with you, think about picking up the phone and calling Bryan Garrity and letting him be an advocate for you. Now, mortgage payment must be in default.
Well, they say that it doesn't necessarily have to. It could be reasonably foreseeable default. I would say that 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to be...
They're not talking to you if you're not in default.
Come on. If
you're still
making the
payments?
payment, what's the incentive for them to do a short sale?
Exactly.
Zero.
Okay.
Zero.
All right, skip on down.
And we also now, what I like, which is a good one, is now the banks are going to have their feet to the fire to answer your short sale request within 30 days. So if we provide them an executed sales contract, valid buyer, valid seller, they've got 30 days to do it.
Now, they've been dragging some of these things on. I've heard horror stories about we've got a buyer, we're ready to do this short sale. We think all the paperwork's done, but we just can't get an answer from the bank. Now they're required?
There were short sales going on for 9, 10, 11, 12 months. I mean, it was a joke. And some still can't. A lot of them are getting better, but they're still protracted.
But this is someplace where you'll hold the bank's feet to the fire on behalf of your client. All right, relocation assistance up to $3,000.
Now that's the benefit.
Can you get that?
You're supposed to be able to, yeah.
Can you get that?
I've seen it. I've had it on a couple files, and all the other things like the maintenance remains the homeowner's responsibility. Now, I had a lot of questions about this arm's length transaction. An arm's length transaction is you, as a seller, do not know or have any relationship with the buyer.
So you can't sell it to your brother, your mother, your aunt, your uncle. You can't do any business with them in this case, because the bank will assume that you're doing something sneaky behind the scenes or under the table.
Right. You're supposed to disclose it if you have it, which would knock you out of this short sale qualification. And I don't want people to be confused. If you don't fall under the HAFA, you can still go under the traditional short sale. Good luck. That's like I'm telling you about Grandma and Grandpa, our $70,000 contribution request. Or I have another gal that lost more than 60% of her income. Opened my phone this morning, same bank, which we need to do a bank report card on one of these segments and just go over some real specifics.
That's where I sit back.
Yeah.
It gets white hot in here when you do that.
Yeah, well,
and that's when I'm going to sit back and go, Brian, take it away. I'm just going to...
People are like, aren't you afraid the banks will blacklist you? No,
exactly. I'm
not afraid. But I'm here for the people. And last time we got an overwhelming response, and I hope that those people, just like last week, that are home, a lot of them are afraid, pick up the phone and call. We'll sit down. We'll talk about it. We will figure it out. There's a way.
And the first 9 callers will get a free consultation. So the first 9 callers, if the phone lines are busy, folks, keep calling. Call back. But the first 9 callers, a free consultation. And if you don't get in on that, it's still worth your while to make an appointment and go in and see Brian for sure. Great to see you.
All right, you too.
Thanks.
Take care.
All right. For more information, you go to san diego6.com.